I think that was in... Bye. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another mukbang. I got quite a few requests to do a breakfast mukbang. A lot of people consider the typical breakfast like bacon and eggs and toast and sausages, things like that. I'm not the biggest fan of any of those things, so today I didn't get any eggs or sausages just because I don't like those things. I've never actually had the vegan versions of sausages or eggs, but I don't really have any interest in trying them, so I didn't really want to get them for this video. But I did get quite a few fun things, so I'm really excited. So I went to Ronald's Donuts. If you guys don't know what Ronald's Donuts is, it is a donut shop that has a lot of vegan donuts, and I've been there quite a few times on my channel before. So I went there today and got an apple fritter, and they also have some vegan breakfast sandwich options, so I got some of those. I got a bacon and cheese bagel, a ham and cheese croissant, and a ham, bacon, and cheese bagel. So those are all vegan, and I think that's really cool, and I'm really excited to try them. And the guy that was working there today was really, really nice, so it was just great. And then I also got a vegan blueberry muffin from Whole Foods, probably one of the best vegan blueberry muffins I've ever had. I got the French toast sticks from Burger King that are accidentally vegan, and they are so, so good. I got hash browns from Jack in the Box because their hash browns are accidentally vegan. And then I also got Ronald's Donuts regular vegan glazed donut, and then I made them into grilled cheese because I heard that that's really, really good. And then right here I just have a toasted bagel that has butter and jelly on it. So yeah, and then also for today's video I got a request to talk about more of my scary stories, so I'm going to be doing that today. But I'm going to start with the food I think I'm actually going to start with the croissant sandwich. So this is a vegan croissant with vegan ham and vegan cheese. I've actually never had vegan ham before, and I didn't really like ham before I was vegan, but I'm still willing to try this. It's not that bad. It's actually really good on the croissant. Mmm. The croissant is so good. Mmm. Wow, I really like that. So the first scary experience was with my best friend Rachel. I guess I'll preface this story by telling you that in the area that we live in, there are a lot of underground tunnels for drainage because we get a lot of flash flooding where we live. And so there are a lot of tunnels and drainage units in our area. A lot of rebellious teenagers, i.e. me and Rachel when we were younger, would go into these tunnels and mess around. And a lot of them are really easily accessible, so it's not like we were breaking in to a highly closed off, wired fenced facility or anything. But, I mean, it was very dangerous going down to these tunnels, so it wasn't the best idea. But, you know, we were rebellious teenagers. We wanted to find something fun to do, and so that's what we did. So we would just do that for fun. And there was this one tunnel that was actually pretty easy to get to, but it was a super long tunnel. She told me that her friend told her that it was about a 30-minute walk. And we were really curious and wanted to go see what it was all about. This is just Burger King's maple syrup that comes with the French toast sticks. Okay, let's get some dip action in here. I love Burger King's French toast sticks. So, this tunnel was easy to get to. It's not like it was guarded by anything. I mean, there was a fence, but it was still really easy to get to. There was a way that you could sneak into like this rocky area and then go under this bridge and then you were there. So it's not like we were hopping a fence or anything. And so we made it down there, and I don't think we even really planned on going inside, at least not that far. And it was a little scary. Like, you never know what or who could be in tunnels like this. You know, a lot of homeless people could be in there, or druggies. So it was just not very safe for us to be doing that. So when we made it there, I think Rachel picked up a rock and she threw it in, I guess just to make sure that nobody else was in there. So she threw it in, and it of course made like an echoey sound because it's in a tunnel. And I think we started to walk forward. We're like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, nothing happened. But then we heard the rock kind of go ch-ch-ch, like somebody had thrown it back. And we were like, and then literally like 2 seconds after that, we hear a doom doom. And we're like, nope, we're out of here. And so we booked it. It was so unsettling. Oh my gosh. I mean, it could have just been somebody in there trying to scare us, but I mean, you never know. It could have been somebody that we probably didn't want to have an encounter with, and I'm really glad that we didn't, because goodness knows what would have happened. So we never went back to that tunnel, but kind of closer to where we live, there are other tunnels that are a lot easier to get to and are not as long. And so we were hanging out at one of those once, and I think we were just taking pictures of each other. We would do that a lot. We'd kind of like model, and we would take pictures of each other. It was really fun. We really liked doing it. And so we were doing it at the end of one of these shorter tunnels. And we were just hanging out. We had been there for a few hours. And so we decided we should probably go home. And Rachel had found a tennis ball. I don't know if it was on our way there or on the way back. I do know that she had a tennis ball, and I ended up recording all of this, not because I thought anything scary was going to happen, but simply because I wanted to document fun things that we were doing. I don't think I have the video anymore, but I remember this specifically because I had the video and I would watch it back with Rachel whenever we would hang out. And so what we were doing as we were heading back was we would throw the tennis ball forward or kick it forward, and because the tunnel was on a slant, the ball would roll back to us. And one of the times we kicked it forward and we heard a ch-ch, and we freaked out and booked it back to the exit of the tunnel. We were mortified. We thought that somebody was in there. But the tennis ball ended up rolling back to us, and we got up the courage to keep going. We made it to the spot where we heard the noise, and we looked down and saw that there was a can right there. So we had just hit the can with the tennis ball. So we kind of laughed it off and kept walking. And as we were kicking the tennis ball, we were also singing, just because we thought that the sound quality in the tunnel was really good. So we just wanted to sing. And I was still recording at this time as well. Okay, I'm gonna try the donut grilled cheese. Oh, look at that. Mmm. Wow. So the sugar or the glaze on the donut kind of like crystallized because I fried it with vegan butter on the stove. So it has like this nice, almost creme brulee feel to it. Mmm. So, I remember I had my flash on because I was recording and I was holding it down and I saw this writing on the ground in chalk, which isn't a surprise. Like, there's graffiti in those tunnels everywhere, but the chalk just caught my attention. And it was a sentence that said something like, something something, I'm a poppet. And I was like, what? And I just kind of brushed it off. I mean, I showed Rachel, and we laughed about it, but then we kept walking. I forgot to mention, we had both literally just watched the movie It. I don't know why we were in the tunnels if we had just watched the movie, because I guess we were just trying to be scared or something. But we take a few steps forward, and we see this string. And I'm like, that doesn't look good. We kept going, and the string ended, but attached to it was a popped red balloon. And so when we saw that, we freaked out and we're like, nope, no more of this. And we booked it to the end of the tunnel and went home. We were so scared. It was probably just a group of teens before us trying to scare each other, or a prank that someone played on their friend or something like that. So, I mean, I obviously know that Pennywise isn't down in those tunnels, but it was just like, it was so disconcerting, but it was really funny too. This was really good. Okay, I think I'm gonna try the bacon and cheese bagel. So the next story actually involves Maylee. We were on a walk one night, and the area that we were walking is just the edge of a neighborhood, and at the edge of the neighborhood there's this back path that we take to go home. We walk on that path pretty consistently, so nothing weird usually happens. And in the area we live in, we have a lot of wildlife, so we have bunnies and jackrabbits, coyotes, rattlesnakes, scorpions. Like, there's just a bunch of different things that could possibly be in the desert area near the houses, but they don't usually travel in the house area. The things that get the closest are the scorpions and the bunnies. So it's not like we were really expecting anything to happen, but as we were making our way up to the back path, we both got this strong urge to, I don't know, like, to kind of be loud. And I think it was more of Maylee than me. Maylee's my sister, by the way, if you don't know. She just got this urge to be loud. So she started saying something and she's like, what? And right as she did, we heard this like, we both thought it was a sprinkler at first. And it kept going and I was like, that sounds like a very broken sprinkler. And then I was kind of like, wait, that's not a sprinkler. Is there a cat out here? Like a sick cat or something? We kept walking and Maylee kind of like pushed me to the side and she said, that's a rattlesnake, that's a rattlesnake. And it started going like really fast, which meant it was ready to attack. And so Maylee, like, she started pushing me and we like started, I don't think we started running, but we started walking really, really fast and we ended up getting away. But it was so scary, and I think that was the first time I had ever really encountered a rattlesnake before, which is crazy because I've lived here for about almost 8 years and that was the first time, and that was probably last year in like September or October. It's crazy that that was the first time. but I'm so grateful that nothing happened. That could have been so much worse. So we were really blessed to have gotten away from that without even being injured or anything. So that was a pretty scary experience. The hash brown in here is a really nice addition. It's really good, but the bagel's a little tough. I think that's the only downside. But the flavor is really good. Okay, I'm actually going to try hash brown just by itself. Oh, they gave me some ketchup too. Maybe I should try some of it with the hash brown. It's actually really good. I'm not the biggest fan of ketchup, but I actually really like this combo. Okay, so the next scary experience happened with Maylee. Like I was just saying, there's a lot of wildlife where we live, which means a lot of coyotes. So there was one time that Maylee and I were on the same path. We were walking up this hill, and we kind of see the shadow of a head. And we're like, oh, there's a person coming. Let's step to the side so we don't get in their way. Come to find out, it's not a person. It's a coyote. My first instinct was to stop, but it started moving up into the rocky area, and so we were fine. And the coyotes here are kind of, I wouldn't say benign, but maybe more dormant. Like they don't attack. They're more afraid of us than we are of them. So I wasn't really afraid, but I mean, it's always good to keep your distance. We ended up making it home okay. It was just kind of scary because I think that was within the same week that we had seen the rattlesnake. I don't know. It was just a little crazy timing. And then I think it was the following week, I was on a walk by myself and I was making it to that same back path. And as I'm heading up to it, it's kind of like a T-bone. So here's the back path, and I'm walking towards it. And this coyote just starts trotting along. I kind of stop and stare at it, and then it slows down and turns and looks at me. We kind of make eye contact for a split second, and then it starts trotting away because I'm pretty sure it was scared that I was there. And I didn't really get any bad vibes, and I didn't feel like it was going to attack me, but just in case, I called Maylee and I was like, yeah, there was a coyote and I don't know if I'm gonna be okay. I mean, I feel like I am, but just in case, I'm gonna call you because loud noises scare coyotes. So I was like, what if I'm on the phone with Maylee? We will more than likely start being loud. So in that case, I'll be fine. And I also just felt safer with Maylee on the phone, just in case if something were to happen, she would know, if that makes sense. So it was kind of just a comfort thing. And once again, I ended up making it home okay. I didn't see the coyote again. And actually last night I was on a walk by myself and I saw another coyote. It wasn't on the same back path though. It was closer to a neighborhood, which I thought was really weird. But it's just kind of crazy how many times I've seen coyotes within like a few months. So it's kind of scary, but at the same time, knowing that they're not necessarily gonna harm me makes me feel better about my life, so. Okay, I'm gonna have some of this muffin. Oh my gosh. I haven't had Whole Foods blueberry muffin in so long. I've missed it. So I'm really excited. Okay. It is so moist. Mmm. And the blueberries are really fresh too. I feel like with a lot of blueberry muffins, they tend to add sugar to the blueberries or like a sugar coating to the blueberries and it makes it super sweet. But they don't do that to this one and it doesn't even need it. It's so good. Mmm. So the next experience was also with Maylee. We were at the park one night. We were swinging and it was already kind of not stormy, like there was a lightning storm, but there wasn't any rain. So we were kind of just watching that as we were swinging. And we were doing that for about 15 to 20 minutes when it started misting like in our faces and it felt so nice because it had been so hot here. And so we were just swinging and enjoying the mist in our faces. And all of a sudden, I got this feeling that we should probably start heading home. And the park isn't too far from our house. Like, it's like a 5 to 7 minute walk. So we started heading home. And we made it up to the entrance of the park. And I had a feeling we should start running. And so we start running. And right as we do, there's a huge thundering boom above us, and it starts pouring. And we're like screaming, running, trying to get home. The wind is blowing so hard on our backs, so it is like thrusting the rain into our backs. So it is like full force pouring down on us. I was mortified. Firstly, because the wind already freaks me out as it is, but also I had my phone with me and I did not want that getting wet, of course. So we were running so hard. My legs were burning. And we finally made it home and we were okay, but we were soaked. It was crazy. Oh my gosh. I wish that I could just show you guys a video of how hard the rain was falling. It was crazy. But it was really scary for me too, because Rachel was supposed to come over that night, but she ended up calling me and she told me that she couldn't come over because she was with one of her other friends that she was hanging out with earlier and they were going to drop her off, but where they were driving, the rain was flooded and it was so high up that she was worried that their engine was going to stop working. Like, it was that high up, which is insane. That was also really scary, but she was fine. They ended up being fine. Thank goodness. Which reminds me of another scary story that happened that has to do with rain. So I was with Maylee once again. We were on top of this mountain that's near our house. Oh my gosh, this weighs like 12 pounds. This is so heavy. Okay, before I continue with the story, I just want to try this real quick. So this is Ronald's Donuts apple fritter. I've had it on my channel before and it's so good. That is a thing of beauty. So Maylee and I were at the top of this mountain slash hill that's near our house. It's a mountain, but it's not that high up. And we were kind of just sitting there enjoying the weather. And we kind of looked over at other mountains that were to the right of us. And they were super misty, and so we both thought of the song from The Hobbit.
Far over the misty mountains cold.
That one. We both just started singing it because we felt like singing it. Ooh, look at that. Look at all that flavor in there. And I kid you not, probably 10 seconds, that's being generous, 10 seconds after we started singing that, the wind starts blowing, and then it starts sprinkling a little bit, and then the wind starts blowing harder, and it starts pouring. Well, it wasn't full on pouring yet, but the wind started blowing so hard. And I started joking and I was like, oh, we've called on the storm. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have done that because then it started blowing harder and I went to take a step and I almost fell because my leg got caught in the air or something. And Maylee's like, no, camera's gonna blow away. I'm pretty sure I almost did. And like I said, I'm really scared of the wind. So that was really freaky for me, especially because we were on top of a mountain. So we started booking it down the mountain and then we ran home once again. So we called on the storm and then had to run home. And actually we did that like 2 weeks ago because we were joking around. We were with our mom that time. It was kind of stormy and I was like, watch this, Mom. And we started singing it and then it started sprinkling and I was like, I think we should stop singing and probably go home now. Let's not do that again. Anyway, that was kind of funny. There's another scary experience. This was actually really funny too, but it was terrifying at the time. So Rachel and I went to the Modern Vegan, which is a vegan restaurant here. We were driving home and we were coming to this intersection and it started turning yellow, but she was going really fast. And so she's like, should I do it? And then she was like, I'm going for it. And then she did, but then it turned red when we were in the intersection and she was like, oh no. And she stopped in the middle of the intersection. And so we were literally, all these cars, it was nighttime, so it was very heavy in traffic. There's a lot of traffic. So there's all these cars just around us staring at us, sitting in the middle of an intersection in the middle of a red light. And so I was like, Rachel, go. And she's like, okay. Anyway, that was really scary because I thought we were gonna die. I legitimately thought we were gonna get in a car accident, but we were fine. And so now it's just really funny. Alright, I'm gonna at least try a bite of this one. This is the ham, cheese, and bacon, and now hash brown. Because the bagel's tough, I don't really want to eat the whole thing. It's good, but it's pretty much the same thing that I ate before. So. Ew. So yeah, I'm probably not going to finish that just because it's tough and dry now. It's still good. It has good flavor, but not really feeling it. I didn't even touch this bagel. I feel kind of bad. I don't know who I feel bad for. Probably me, but... Okay. This is the buttered bagel with jelly. I personally love butter with jelly on bread. I used to eat that all the time as a kid, and it is so good. That's actually really nice right now. So I have one more experience, and that also includes Maylee. We were on another walk. I feel like everything scary happens on our walks. But on our walk, sometimes we pass by this house that has horses. So in this neighborhood, we walk kind of far sometimes, and so there's this neighborhood that we go to that has bigger houses. One of these houses has horses, and we love stopping and petting the horses. I don't know if we're allowed to, but I mean, there's no sign that says that we can't, so... Plus, the horses are super sweet too, and they're so cute, so I'm pretty sure it's okay. But anyway, so we actually pet these horses quite a lot. So we were petting them once, and they've kind of gotten used to us now, and they're so chill, like they just sit there and let you pet them. But there was this one time that we were petting them, and this house is along a road, so there are cars that are constantly passing by. Well, not constantly, but every so often. And so these horses are used to cars passing by. We've pet them before with cars passing by. I don't know what happened, but Maylee and I were just petting them, and we had been petting them for probably 5 minutes. A few cars had already passed by, and then all of a sudden the horses start freaking out. Like, they lift their head up and they kind of look around, and then they kind of like run away from us, and Maylee and I kind of stare at each other like, what the heck just happened? We considered that maybe it was a car, but so many different cars have passed by them before, and like this had never happened before. It was so weird. All of a sudden, like, dogs in the surrounding area started barking for no reason. It was so weird. And it was honestly kind of freaky because, you know, animals' senses are usually higher than humans. And so Maylee and I were like, are we going to die from like a storm or something? Like, we didn't know what to think. Obviously the horses were spooked by something, and it hasn't happened since either. So I don't know. It's just weird. If you have not tried this combo, you should try it because it's really, really good. Alright. I'm going to finish off this bagel, and then I'm going to be done because I'm really full. Oh my gosh. It's sticking. This was also really good. I think I'd prefer just eating the donut plain, but it is a really fun idea, and I really liked the combo. I don't know, I thought it was going to be weird, but it was actually really good. Boom. Alright guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. This was super fun. Thank you for requesting breakfast food. It was really delicious and I really enjoyed it. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!